Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. An announcement from the Ministry of Health. Inauguration of an elementary school in Magharka and workshop on preserving intangible cultural heritage. U.S. officials apologized for the treatment border patrol against gay-hating migrants. Genoa coup leader Mamade sworn in interim president. Welcome to your domestic in brief. One patient has been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at quarantine centers in Duwarwa, southern region. On the other hand, 12 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly risen to 6,650, while the number of deaths still stands at 42. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 6,723. Ministry of Health, Asmara, 3rd October 2021. A newly built elementary school has been inaugurated in Magharka administrative area, Logo Ansaba subzone, on October the 2nd. The 1.3 million Nakfa elementary school built at Adwar Hisab area includes 5 classrooms and 2 offices. Speaking to Arena, Mr. Tsahay Burhane, head of the education in Logo Ansaba subzone, stated that the construction of schools is to alleviate the challenges that has been existent in the educational sector in the area. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, the governor of Gashbarka region, Ambassador Muhammad Ali Hurui, and Ambassador Administrator of Logo Ansaba subzone, Mr. Abraham Hagos, called on parents to send their children to school. The school will provide services to children from Adwar Hisab, Magharka, and Dakadashim, as reported. Documents indicate that there are 35 schools ranging from preschool to high school in Logo Ansaba subzone. On your final domestic, at a workshop conducted in Barantu on 28th of the past September, calls were made for an integrated effort to conduct scientific research and document the intangible cultural heritage in the Gashbarka region with a view to transfer them to prosperity. According to reports presented at the workshop, Gashbarka region, which is resident to the ethnic groups, to 8 ethnic groups in the country, is rich with cultural and historical heritages, and that so far preliminary study has been conducted that could be stepping stone for further in-depth scientific study. Mr. Muhammad Faid, head of the culture at the Department of Culture and Sports in the region, indicating that apart from these heritages that have been displayed at national festivals, called for scientific exploration and proper documentation with a view to transfer them to the young generation and contribute to the development of tourism industry. Mr. Idris Saleh, DG of Culture and Sports in the region, on his part said that the preliminary study so far conducted will have scientific contribution for conducting further scientific study and called on experts in the field to reinforce contribution in that effort. The participants conducted extensive discussion of the report presented and adapted various recommendations as well. Up next with your international report. Do stay with us for more. Welcome again. U.S. officials apologized on Friday, October the 1st, for the treatment of Border Patrol against gay Haitian migrants on the U.S.-Mexico border. During a news conference in the U.S. Embassy in Port-au-Prince, the National Security Council's senior director for the Western Hemisphere, Juan Gonzalez, said that all of them has seen the image of the treatment of Haitians at their border, and that he wanted to say that it was an injustice, that it was wrong, and apologized to the people of Haiti. Gonzalez added that is not how their border officials or the Department of Homeland Security behaves, and that the Secretary of Homeland Security immediately upon seeing those images called for an investigation into the treatment of Haitian migrants. During the conference, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Western Hemisphere Affairs, Brian Nicholas, also said that the U.S. would cooperate with the Haitian government's investigation on the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. On Monday, September 27th, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Algerdo Macris reported that nearly 30,000 migrants had been encountered in the border area in the past 2 weeks. Some 2,000 of them were expelled to Haiti. Many of the Haitian arriving at the U.S. border had previously lived in Brazil and Chile, while others have transited through the South American countries. They're escaping poverty in a country affected by earthquakes, corruption, and a presidential assassination. Mamadi Doumbouya promises that neither he nor any member of the military government will stand in any future votes. Guinean has sworn in Colonel Mamadi Doumbouya as interim president, who promised to respect the West African states' international commitments while transitioning to civil rule. Doumbouya, who led the overthrow of President Alpha Conde on September 5th, was sworn in on Friday by Supreme Court head Mandaboy Sila for a transition period of unspecified length. The new interim president spoke of his commitment, in quotation, that neither he nor any member of the military government will stand in any future elections that the military has promised to organize after the transition period. His administration's mission is to refound the state, he said, by drafting a new constitution, fighting corruption, removing the electoral system, and the organizing free, credible, and transparent elections in the future. He once again said that nothing at this time or at the time of his swearing in about how long he will remain the interim leader. The new president also promised to, in quotation, respect all the national and international commitments to which the country has subscribed. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we're back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these were your major headlines for this broadcast in review. An announcement from the Ministry of Health as your primary domestic. Inauguration of an elementary school in Magharka and workshop on preserving intangible cultural heritage. U.S. officials apologized for the treatment of Border Patrol against gay Haitian migrants. Guinea coup leader Mamadi Doumbouya sworn in as interim president. That is all for now. Thanks for watching and have a nice one.